I'm Brittany Howell, an attorney at Chisholm Chisholm Kilpatrick.
And I'm Brandon Paiva, a VA-accredited claims agent. So there has been a lot of speculation about potential changes surrounding VA benefits. We're doing our best to keep everyone informed as to what we're actually seeing that is being actually discussed. Keep an eye on our YouTube, TikTok, and our blog to stay up to date with some of these changes. Today, we'd like to talk specifically about what we've been hearing about TDIU, otherwise known as total disability based on individual unemployability.
If this topic is a source of anxiety for you right now, we'll start with a spoiler. We are still not seeing any momentum for modifying TDIU. That's not to say that it couldn't ever happen. What we're going to discuss today, though, is 4 proposals that we do hear brought up occasionally. If changes are made to TDIU, it will likely be one of these 4 scenarios. But we keep close tabs on VA and veterans legislation, and we don't see any appetite for making these changes in the near future.
All right, for a quick review, TDIU is a VA benefit that grants total disability to veterans whose conditions interfere or preclude them from securing or maintaining what's called substantially gainful employment. A common TDIU situation we see is a veteran who suffers from severe PTSD, which might only be rated at 70% for that condition due to how the rating schedule works. But the veteran's symptoms still impairs their ability to the point that they cannot secure a job. So TDIU ensures that these individuals can get compensated like the totally disabled veterans that they are. However, this is somewhat of an unusual benefit, so it does attract some attention from time to time.
That's right. So let's take a look at some of the most common proposals for how to modify TDIU. The first one we've seen is that they want to do something called abolish the benefit. There are a couple of reasons that this idea gets floated from time to time. TDIU is a little different from other benefits. Most VA benefits give a rating based on a percentage for specific criteria. For example, if your range of motion is limited by X%, you get a rating of Y. But TDIU takes a subjective look at the actual impact of the symptoms on the veteran's ability to work. Another reason why TDIU can seem tempting to cut first is that it is created by VA through regulation, not by Congress through statutes, so it would technically be possible for VA to remove TDIU on their own.
But we do think it's highly unlikely that TDIU will be abolished, at least anytime soon for that matter. TDIU is somewhat of a safety valve for the entire system. It makes sure that veterans with unusual conditions or a combination of conditions don't fall through the cracks. A lot of veterans with unique situations would have no other options to pursue additional benefits if this benefit was removed.
A second thing that we hear sometimes is to make TDIU unavailable to people when they hit retirement age.
Our sense is that this is slightly more possible to see someday, but we still think it's pretty highly unlikely. TDIU is not the same as a job. It's compensation for the loss of options due to the veteran's military service and the conditions that they suffer from that. So it doesn't make sense to cut it off at an arbitrary age like a career. There's also the fact that a veteran who did not develop a disability might have been able to have a significant career with extensive retirement savings. So TDIU after retirement age is a compromise for that loss of potential.
A third idea that gets floated occasionally is to means test TDIU. Means testing is when you base the government benefits on a person's financial status. In other words, a veteran could lose eligibility for TDIU if they have a certain net worth. The problem with this argument is that TDIU is not designed that way. TDIU is not meant to be a safety net. TDIU is meant to compensate for loss, like workers' compensation. Trying to rebuild a TDIU based around a veteran's needs would be a completely different benefit.
A last idea we'll discuss today is only allowing TDIU for combat veterans. Once again, this seems very unlikely to ever happen. For one thing, this would be a very arbitrary distinction. VA benefits are generally not designed to favor certain veterans over the other, and in this specific case, combat veterans over other veterans. Like Brittany mentioned, TDIU is more like workers' compensation, if you can kind of think about it that way. It's meant to compensate you for the loss of potential due to your military service.
All right, we'll stop there. Just to recap, there's intense bipartisan support for veterans right now, and TDIU has been a crucial benefit that helps some severely disabled veterans when no other benefit can. Even though TDIU has some unique requirements, it's actually very in line with the goal of other VA benefits. So we do not see much risk of TDIU changes right now. Otherwise, please like and subscribe if you found this video helpful. Thank you.
Take care, everyone.